Now, I showed you how to do mono submixes. We can do the 4 mono submixes as I showed you in the last video, and we broke it out into drums, guitars, instruments, and Vox. Now, what if you want to do stereo submixing? It can still be very helpful. You can do up to 2 stereo submixes by actually linking the submix buses, and that's what I'm going to show you in this video. So we're going to change our strategy away from doing drums, guitars, instruments, and Vox. And so I'm going to take this off, and we're going to go with 2 stereo submixes. And so the way I'm going to do this is to submix the drums and submix the vocals onto stereo buses. This allows you to pick up your vocals and your background vocals in stereo, and then also pick up the drums, which is, I think it's really helpful because there's so many channels related to drums, and instead of riding this whole mess together, to get it down to stereo channels is something I would do on almost every show, unless I needed these for something else. So now to set this up, you just basically can link the odd numbered channels. So I'll select this one here, which is sub 1, and then back over on the fat channel you can hit link, just like you would do with channels. And so now these are stereo linked together. And they're still assigned to the main, which you would need. And so let's do the same thing for this set. These are now 2 independent channels. If I hit link, we now have a stereo set. You'll also notice way over here when you select it that the pan control opens up, and so you can narrow the field. So if you don't want your drums all the way wide, you can actually control that here as well, which is kind of cool because you can set up a whole drum set in stereo, but then for certain songs or sections, twist this and bring them into mono, which can be kind of a cool effect. More of a studio effect, but still fun to do live as well. So now to complete this setup, we need to go back to our drums. So we'll select the drums. You can see that they're automatically now assigned to the stereo pair and right down the line. So there's nothing more we need to do here, but if we're setting this up from scratch, you need to make sure that you have this set selected. And then let's just take a look at bass. Now bass is set to sub 1 and sub 2. Since we're going to run it direct, we're going to turn this off and send bass directly to the main out because we only have 2 to work with here. We'll just check the other one. Same thing with guitars. We'll set it to the main out. And piano, all the instruments basically will mix right here on the board, since main out only. And this effects guitar. And we're almost set up here. Now the Vox is already set to 3/4 as we want. And so let's just check all of these, and they're set to 3/4. So now we have the ability, we already have these background vocals panned. And so those are all set the way we want. So now we can play back and experiment with our 2 stereo sub buses.
Not my solitary town, no, no, no. So hold my hand and know that I stand right by your side in all these good and bad times. Oh, I'm done running. I think it's time to call this place home. To walk beside me and slightly line me right through our door. I don't presume that I won't get used to it, no. Give me a time or 2 more. Oh, 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 breath at a time. I breathe in 1 breath at a time. In it, I feels like the very first time, but put it on me now.
So that just gives you an alternative way to mix your show. You can run into stereo sub buses, and as I showed you in the previous video, you can run into mono sub buses. The routing is very straightforward with the assigned section in the fat channel. So have fun with this. Thanks for watching.